Madre is usually described as part memoir, part travelogue, and part research investigation. The idea was to make accessible linguistic anthropology to a wide audience, which is why I brought myself into the story. People can relate to people easier than they can relate to linguistics. And I thought if I tried to carry the story, that would, help a little. One of the things that memoir requires is honesty. About yourself, about situations you've been in, about the situation or the situations that you are interested in exposing, and that can carry with it a lot of vulnerabilities. Also feelings of, because I've heard lots of people speak about memoir, feelings of relief at getting the story out. I think it's really hard to disengage your own personal life and knowledge, body of knowledge that comes with your personal life from your writing. I mean, it just has to. You may give everyone new names and it may not be exactly your story, but your experiences have an impact. If you write about tragedy, it really helps to have experienced some tragedy, maybe not the one you're writing, but those emotions, that humane aspect. Sometimes what some people do is they put it on the floor and then they put that over there and this over there and so forth. I suppose if you're telling a mystery story, you need to have a map. I've seen people put maps on walls of when the knife will be found and when they decide there was a knife and so on and so forth. Ultimately, your story will not find its final organization until the complete draft is done, and I mean a really good draft, like the final draft, but it's still a draft. And then someone comes along who can really see the forest for the trees. You're too involved. You're too inside the trees. They see the forest for the trees, and they say, here in the middle of your thesis on page 105 should be page 1. And this should be over there, and you should collapse these chapters. And in fact, you need to throw that chapter out. It's distracting. Cafes I find to be fabulous. It's really, for me, combining the deadline with the silence. I can't, unlike a lot of writers and lots of young people I know can work with music, and I can't. On the other hand, the irony in my life is I can work with a lot of noise. It becomes white noise. I don't really hear it, but I feel like there are other people around and they're busy and they're working, and I don't feel so alone. I'm not a writer who can stay up till 2 in the morning. That kind of silence I'm not wild about. I feel like everyone's asleep and boo-hoo. Like, why am I not asleep? If I had just worked all day, I wouldn't have to stay up all night. There's a very famous quote by Gregory Bateson in linguistic studies. He was one of many husbands of Margaret Mead. And very, very Gregory Bateson, he said, it's the difference that makes a difference. And it is.